ready?
I guess.
Systems online.
We did it. Holy shit, we did it.
Good afternoon, Jessica. I'm Halo, your second brain that sees and hears everything. Build mode online.
No. That's the one.
Flamethrower selected.
Why are you recording?
I want to see if Halo's a good wingman.
What?
Hey, Rebecca.
In this moment,
The fuck?
Trust me.
Some habits just fade away with age.
Grandpa, I promise.
Fine. It's been years.
Activating piano vision.
You say something?
Grandpa, just play.
Ever wanted to step into a new world without leaving your couch? This is the magic of mixed reality portals. With a single tap, your window view transforms. One moment it's a sunrise over Cappadocia with hot air balloons. The next you're diving in the deep sea with whales, and then you're floating in the cosmos. It's more than just a screen. Notice how the room's entire lighting and atmosphere change to match the scene. This technology seamlessly blends our physical space with any digital world you can imagine. The future of the smart home isn't just about convenience, it's about experience. What world would you choose to see outside your window right now? Welcome to my creative space. Watch how my ideas truly come to life. From the first splash of color to the final touch, whatever I create on my desk, whether it's piecing together patterns or painting bold, colorful dots, instantly appears on the garment. It's a seamless flow from my imagination straight to reality. This is my design magic, happening right before your eyes. Thanks for watching. Selecting objects in augmented reality can be difficult, especially from a distance. This video introduces Reality Proxy, an innovative solution to this problem. Instead of pointing at things in the air, you interact with a physical set of blocks right in front of you. Each block represents a real object that the AR system sees. You can physically touch, slide, and group these blocks to select and filter items in your view, making the interaction both tactile and precise. This technology has incredible applications, from organizing a cluttered kitchen and navigating a building's digital twin, to even controlling a swarm of drones. Reality Proxy bridges the gap between the physical and digital, making complex AR control more intuitive than ever before.
by 60 to 100 heartbeats per minute in resting adults. Through a blockage in the coronary vessels, cells can be damaged or die if not treated. Irreversible death of heart muscle tissue. The key to recovery is receiving treatment as
Vision Pro is a new kind of computer that augments reality by seamlessly blending the real world with the digital world. It's the first Apple product you look through and not at. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space. And you control Vision Pro using the most natural and intuitive tools, your eyes, hands, and voice. With Vision Pro, you're no longer limited by a display. Your surroundings become an infinite canvas. Use your apps anywhere and make them any size you want. Capture photos and videos and relive your most important memories in an entirely new way. Watch your movies, shows, and sports, and immerse yourself in games on a giant screen surrounded by spatial audio. And connect with people as if you're sharing the same space. These are just some of the ways that Vision Pro blends digital content into the space around us.
heartbeats per minute in resting adults. Through a blockage in the coronary vessels, cells can be damaged or die if not treated. Irreversible death of heart muscle tissue. The key to recovering is receiving treatment as
how do you actually distribute expertise in real time, leveraging technology like edge computing to help support field workers at the point of actual activity?
Here at Tactile, we really tried to envision what a 3D checklist might look like in mixed reality over the top of the real world to codify step-by-step work instructions.
And so it's not just about delivering expertise that comes out of a manual, it's about delivering expertise in those real-time situations that 5G is going to unlock.
A frontline worker could do a truck roll to repair a piece of machinery. And that worker, if they ever tap out on knowledge in an area, could go and pipe in someone who has that expertise, all provided through the power of connectivity and computing on the edge. An advantage of 5G over 4G is both the combination of bandwidth, speed, and jitter. And so companies like Tactile are interested in where 5G networks are going because in many cases it can help them refactor a much more immersive experience, taking advantage of these new latency, bandwidth, and jitter capabilities that didn't exist in 4G.
Having a faster data connection with lower latency, the fidelity between that expert and that operator is super high. And so they know when they're saying, hey, that's not the right button, you need to look to the button to the right. There's a real-time kind of connection between those two working together. 5G presents a number of great opportunities for more data visualization. So as we are able to display more of the sensor information to the operators and the experts about the equipment that they're working on and overlay that so that the operator is more informed through things like remote rendering, you can display more immersive experiences, simulations, animated models that might be too big or too compute intensive for the augmented reality devices to render on their own. This is the promise that we see, and 5G enables that, and it helps us envision a different way in which we might build our platform than we would had we not had 5G and these technologies available at the edge.
We're just really scratching the surface of what's ahead in both the context of 5G and edge computing. And I think the world's gonna be blown away when they start to see the impact of this technology and how it's gonna improve not only our enterprise lives again, but our consumer lives.
At the Augmented Reality show here today for Webby Social. If you haven't done so already, check it out here. We were doing the Infinite Realism by One Love Art DAO, and we got artwork all hanging out through where everyone's at here today. So if you guys haven't done so, come check it out. We set up the Augmented Reality. People are just in and out of the artwork, which is awesome. We'll check out this one here. So cool. Awesome seeing it live here in front of everybody. And I've got the entire gallery here displayed for everybody to check out. Again, if you haven't done so, go ahead, check out Webby Social. I'll see you guys soon.
We built AI glasses that instantly gives you 300 IQ, and we tested them in public. Here's the response.
Right on. Yeah. I need more information. What number do you want to multiply by 521 by?
23.
I multiplied it by 23, 11,983.
Awesome.
I'm originally from Central Africa in a country called the Democratic Republic of the Congo. What was the country's previous name prior to being called the Democratic Republic of the Congo?
That's a tough question. Zaire.
Zaire. Yeah.
And before that,
Yeah.
it was the Republic of Congo, Leopoldville.
Yes. Yes.
Right on. Yeah,
What movie? It was directed by Spike Lee. Did Ray Allen play Jesus Feathersworth?
He got game.
You got it.
Brothers wanted to make the campaign for the new Superman movie special, and we took it across the world. Together with Armada Projects, we created 5 mixed reality promotion videos prior to the movie release, and we asked our community for help. The Tower Bridge in London, the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
So now I'm under Eiffel Tower to shoot some cool stuff.
Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul.
I'm here in Gyeongbokgung Palace.
The pyramids of Giza. The colorful Xochimilco boats in Mexico City. Once the places were filmed, the real work began. We tracked every single scene frame by frame. Then we built and placed our 3D elements, making sure every detail matched reality. Rendering was its own challenge. This is where Render Network saved us. Their speed meant we could iterate quickly, make changes, and get new renders back without losing days. Finally, we brought in sound design and a cinematic color grade to unify the entire project. And after that, the videos were ready to fly.
When it comes to tennis, you could kind of argue that we're all computers, but at the same time, it's still the human that has to do the execution on the court. And so, you have the ability for AI to augment your training ability and get better faster, but it's still going to come down to you to hit that shot and make that execution. And in the moment, you're not going to have any coaching on the court, it's just you. And so obviously AI helps you get to that point, but once you're there on the court, then it's like, it's all up to you and it's on your racket, literally. So I think at least there'll be some domains like that, hopefully where it's still like humans and we still stay true to that. But I think ultimately computers enable everybody to have an even playing field, which is not necessarily the case today.
Yeah.
Today with Swing Vision, what's really cool is now you can just set up your own iPhone behind the court and it can call the lines for you. And so the AI is able to process the video footage on the court at like 60 frames per second, which is much better than what the human eye sees at around 24 frames per second. So it's just a much better resolution essentially of where the ball is actually landing. And so it can make calls better than the players now, which is actually quite a helpful tool. I guess if you're somebody who cheats a lot, maybe you don't like it, but in general, it's assisting. And then we're building new technologies as well to provide feedback to help you improve your game as well. And that's something that maybe a human could do if they collected all the data, but it'd be like a lot of data and it'd be really difficult to do that.
Do you think it's fair then for athletes to be kind of using this technology?
I think it actually equalizes the playing field. I mean, if you're trying to go professional, for example, in the sport of tennis, like it's really hard to bring a coach with you everywhere that you go, unless you're a really top player and you have like those big sponsorships. It's not really reasonable for you to bring a coach that's going to travel with you everywhere and give up their whole life just to come with you, because you probably can't even afford to pay them that much. You're barely making a living yourself. So to be able to have software that can actually, augment that or replace that to some extent is actually going to allow more people to be able to go up higher in the sport. Maybe you're growing up in like a region of the world that doesn't have like proper coaching infrastructure, and so now all of a sudden you're able to enter this sport. So I think overall it's a good technology for more people to have, and it just means more people will end up playing these sports and be able to get better a lot faster.
What feedback have you gotten from some of the professionals that have used the technology?
Yeah, I mean, with some professionals that have been using it, there's certainly, it's not quite as accurate as some of the technologies they use at the pro level, because it is, ultimately a consumer product experience, but they still find a lot of value in the fact that they're able to save a lot of time. If they're going out on the practice court and recording a match, the coach doesn't have to sift through that entire like several hours of footage. The fact that we like remove all the time in between the points when you're like picking up the ball or getting a water break, like that alone saves you so much time. And then being able to like catalog based on specific shots or points, like I was mentioning earlier, like I think that saves the coaches an incredible amount of time.
What people have used this technology? Some names we might recognize.
Well, I mean, our earliest investors were Andy Roddick, former world #1 US Open champion, as well as Lindsay Davenport, also former world #1 on the women's side. So, they've used it a bit off and on, I would say, but they're, retired pros at this point. But we have lots of college teams that use it.
Would AI be equivalent to basically steroids at that point, since you're kind of getting that boost? Are we juicing ourselves now with AI?
Hopefully it's not quite like that. I think hopefully it's more like GPS or the smartphone, and it's hopefully like strictly better in most ways.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's like net positive. I'm still optimistic about it despite all the dangers of it.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and call your colleague, Dr. Shekhar, out. We're going to get set up with this demo, and we're going to move a little bit. All right.
We would love to bring our big robots in here, but you can't do that. So I think this is a really nice demo to show.
So can you start off by telling us a little bit about, just while he's getting set up, what the problem is that you're trying to solve here with this device, and what the challenge is and what you're trying to tackle?
So Dr. Shekhar's
Sorry, I'm
group,
going to speak.
okay,
Sorry.
does
You're more important than me here.
Does
Okay.
augmented reality? No, that's not true. Does augmented reality, and this device itself is sort of allowing an image. So he's using ultrasound here, and we do a lot of procedures with ultrasound guidance, more precise. It was one of the goals. And what this actually does is you don't get the view that he's actually seeing.
I think we will in a second.
Okay. The ultrasound shows you your target. Normally when you're doing a procedure on a patient using ultrasound, you're looking at a big screen on the ultrasound machine, and it's usually a big machine that's pulled in, and you have to work like this and look like this, so the ergonomics don't work. The idea of this ultrasound is it's in line of sight, so you're actually looking at the patient, you're targeting either a biopsy, a blood vessel or whatever you want to put a catheter in somewhere, and use the ultrasound to actually identify the site, and then you can put it in straightforward in a very ergonomic way. It also allows autonomy. What he's doing there, unfortunately you're not seeing the picture, but what he's doing there is actually controlling the size of the image, the gain of the image, and you're not seeing it, but what's happening is the ultrasound is going up, it's going down. He doesn't have to take gloves off and go work on the machine. He can do it all from the side of the bed.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Jewel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How's your today?
Today is pretty good. I'm working on a new recipe for the blog and it's going well. What about you? How's your day so far?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And what's your favorite food?
My favorite food is probably sushi. I love the combination of flavors and textures. And my favorite activity is definitely cooking and trying out new recipes. What about you? Do you have any favorites?
Oh, I like cooking too. See you later.
Now that's a threesome I want to watch.
We're supposed to keep moving.
How's it going?